Alright guys, as much as I wanted to keep listening to the Summoner's Call music, we are back with round 2. This is DominateDominion number 85, and it's just Summoner's Rift versus DD Mercenaries. I'm RheingoldRiver, joined by Bert to bring you all of today's games.
And in the round 2 action, we do have the chat bands already set up and ready to go. Wukong, Nidalee, Jayce, and Kassadin band. Only big switch up from the chat bands from last game was Wukong and Jayce. Nidalee and Kassadin probably always going to see banned out no matter what.
I think these are actually the same 4 bands.
Think so? I think the Jayce was at least changed.
I think that was those champions were definitely all banned last game. Oh, maybe Kha'Zix was chat banned. Yeah. It might have been a Kha'Zix chat ban, but yeah, Kha'Zix you can see taken out in game. Lulu and Katarina, we saw an extremely effective Lulu last game. The Katarina pick a little bit interesting, or the Katarina ban rather.
Yeah, haven't seen many people play it quite a bit. Maybe it's a targeted ban at somebody from DD. It's just Summoner's Rift, but yeah, very interesting to see. Wow, the Zyra ban very classic. Not really surprising to see, but the Lulu ban. It did really, really good on the first game, so I'm not surprised to see that one ban out for sure.
Yeah, no, it was, you're absolutely right. It was not Wukong, it was Kha'Zix in the chat ban, and then I believe Wukong was the first ban by Purple Team. So, a lot of similar bans. There's Talon taken away again. Is there some secret to Talon that I'm missing right now?
Last time I was watching competitive Dominion, Talon was played quite a bit. I mean, I think it was E West who actually brought out the Talon in Dominion play quite a bit a while ago, maybe in Season 2. But he hasn't really fallen off, but I do like many other assassins. But Talon is very useful because of his gap plus is on next to diplomacy off of cutthroat. So, I mean, the damage is there. It could work out, and like you said, you could rake in some major damage. Hopefully Talon will get to see the light of day. Pantheon going to be the last band for DD. It's just Summon's Rift.
Yeah, I don't know if Talon can see the light of day if he depends on shadows for his assault.
True, that is very true. Now we'll see if he can quickly, stealthily get through all the darkness and find his way through. While we do see the first pick going to be picked up, then Bruja going to be picking up the J4 possibly. We'll see if that's happening. But a lot of picks, other than the Katarina, really interested to see off the bands.
Yeah, so Jarvan, the first lock in there, probably will be picked up. Jarvan is just godly. Jarvan is such a good champion. That Cataclysm is so strong. You're just like, oh, I want to assassinate this one guy. All right, let's put him in a box and kill him.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah, the damage output is immense coming out from J4 inside the box as well. You can help the other team as well with trapping in maybe a 1-2 squishy targets, but usually you don't see that paired up with the J4, other than maybe Ezreal. But yeah, really interested to see Dennis Bruja picking that one up. The Leona getting hovered over. Been some good changes for her in 3.14 patch, especially with the Eclipse, the W shield. Does immense amount of protection for her now, and then pairing that up with the Kayle as well. Stez 007 picking that one up as well.
Yeah, so Kayle with the invulnerability and Leona with the being ridiculously tanky are both things that are good against Jarvan. You want to make it so that Jarvan can't just assassinate your backline after he's trapped them inside of his circle arena. It's like, what, he's a duelist, I think, in the lore or something. Brand and Annie are both available right now. We could see the Brick Oven. I would love to see at the very least an Annie. Maokai, of course, unbanned. I want to say Maokai has the highest pick rate out of any champion in DominateDominion, because a lot of the, not the highest pick plus ban rate, but I think he has the highest pick rate where he gets through bans and actually gets played.
I can agree with that. J4 is another thing that I would agree with that as well, but the Taric actually going to change it over right over there. I've seen some great Maokai play. I can't remember the name of the bottom laner of Pays Evelyn Child Support. He used to play it quite a bit. Not Sauron, but there was another one that played it there. But Kalos going to be picking up the Taric, and we do see the Annie locked in as well. Annie, great burst potential. Taric, I mean, if you live in the Summoner's Rift world, pretty strong right now. Still the Shatter doing an immense amount of damage. We'll see if that's going to be paired up as well into the Crystal Scar.
Yeah, so Taric, support champion, but he's pretty much just a super mega armor tank. Death Rocket. I had to. Inferno Bomb. A super mega armor tank, Death Rocket, Inferno Bomb. There you go. But it's, you know, a pretty apt description. He just has a ton of armor, and with a ton of armor comes a ton of extra damage because of his passive. So he stuns you, he auto-attacks you. He shatters you, he auto-attacks you. Or he could even put an ult there before the shatter if he wants. Then he auto-attacks. Then he heals himself, he auto-attacks. And then like half a second later, his stun's back up because of all of the resets on his cooldown that he's gotten from all those auto-attacks. So he stuns you again. You're like, great, Taric just killed me. What? He has no damage, but his passive is just so good. His passive is amazing, and his ult gives him so much ability power, so much attack damage, that he can actually just 1v1 almost anyone in the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised seeing him in the bottom lane, but we do have Man looking over at the Karma pick as well. And the Karma Nidalee lane at the bottom was so strong. I'm interested in seeing what DD Mercenaries want to do. I think the Ezreal or something, they might need a little bit more poke potential. So I would like to see Chopsticks pick that one up over there. But the Karma, oh my gosh. If we see that again, beware for DD. It's just Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, so Ezreal and Karma being hovered over. The Vayne and Vi, I'm a little bit concerned about those two pickups against the Taric in particular because that's a ton of physical damage. I want to see someone with a lot of magic damage. I'd actually love to see a Cassiopeia here. Good sustained damage against the Taric to try and eat through that armor. Annie, also actually deceptively tanky. She does have her Molten Shield, will give her 20 plus 10 per level armor and magic resist. So this is a very tanky team, plus the shields from Karma. Ezreal, of course, a little bit of an exception there. He's going to be relatively squishy, but Ezreal's mobility pretty high.
Yeah, especially in the teamfight engagement. We'll see you try to catch up with either Taric stun, the terrorist stun on ultimate, or then the Bruja just locking down people in. But the engagement's pretty high for the team of the It's Just Summoner's Rift as well. You have the Lee Sin who could go around and get some great mobility in there. We do have some other good things coming out as William Swiftfoot. Being able to pick up the Vi, you're going to go in with the Assault and Battery, try to lock down on the back one.
Yeah, it was Lee Sin as the last pick there. He's extremely mobile, but I'm just seeing a little bit of a lack of magic damage. Now, Kayle does do AoE damage with her auto attacks, tends to build attack speed ability power, so we'll probably see a Gnash's Tooth, a lot of ability power out from Pedro there on Kayle. And that might be enough to deal with Taric. The other thing is, of course, yeah, Taric's pretty scary, but if you can kill the rest of his team, then there's only so much that he can do. But Taric is paired alongside an Annie. Annie, with that Tibbers, is a ton of AoE burst damage, and of course she's also pretty tanky herself. And I'm just a little bit concerned for the way in which DD Mercs is going to be able to kill anyone on It's Just Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, I am very discouraged as well, but we'll probably see them trade off one or two more times, no problem, and we'll see some deaths coming out from both teams for sure.
Yeah,
probably.
I'm pretty sure that some people are gonna die in this game. I'm pretty sure that there will be player deaths,
Hopefully
and I think
not.
Daze thinks so too because everyone has Revive.
Yeah, I mean, everyone on Revive going to be able to come back into the fights, and as we talked about before, when those are going to be the first fight, and it's going to be the biggest fight, so hopefully they can capture that, well, for either team, and coming into this.
Yeah, looking
really
at that windmill fight a lot,
quickly.
actually, both teams have very good windmill fights. Leona has great engage with her Zenith Blade, with her stun. If she can jump onto someone in the back line and get that CC down, Kayle's going to do a lot of splash damage unless she's in the ball lane. Excuse me, and Lee Sin's super mobile, a lot of good early game damage. So there's a lot of potential out from DD Mercs in the windmill fight. On the other hand, you have Annie. And Annie is just an absolute god early on because she has that AoE stun from her Incinerate. Now, she's not going to be able to flash Incinerate, but she can still get the Incinerate stun onto several people. So if the fight starts, I honestly see the fight going really well in favor of one team. And then after the revives start to come out, I can definitely see it getting turned.
And we'll see if that will happen in just a little bit, but I'm liking that we're going to be seeing some great team fight engagements. First game, not so much. It was about poke and trying to get in. We'll see how this one will go out, where we're going to be seeing so many more damage, or so many more fights just in between each other. Hopefully it'll work out for the team of DD. It's Just Summoner's Rift, because they have, I would say, a great engage inside, but I don't think the everlasting damage will be enough. Unless Vayne can get a few kills and just snowball from there. If Stez 007 can play out his role as AD carry really well and get out of the Cataclysm, get her away from all the stuns, it's gonna be very, very devastating to the team of DD Mercenaries.
Yeah, of course, Vayne, when I said I'm a little bit concerned for their damage, if it gets to late game, where Vayne has 4 items, 5, even maybe 6 items completed, Vayne is just this deadly killing machine that really doesn't care, because she does percent health true damage, and she just builds a ton of attack speed. Stez going for a cleanse. Sometimes you see Vayne's will go for a flash. He's deciding to go for cleanse. That's a little bit concerning in me because he's not going to be able to flash out of the Cataclysm. But I think Vayne can tumble out of that, even though she's not supposed to be able to. And cleanse does have that shorter cooldown. It's 5 minutes on flash, a lot less on cleanse. So if he does get caught, he'll be able to have that cleanse. That's actually really important against Taric because Taric has that point-and-click stun. Or you know what, if it's on Smartcast, it's even easier. You just click, and then they're stunned. And so there's not really any way for Vayne to outplay that. What she can do, of course, is cleanse it. So I definitely like that cleanse pickup against the Taric. A little bit concerned about it against the Jarvan.
Yeah, the J4 should have a field day with that, but I've seen many a times the Vayne just tumble right out of the Cataclysm and go, what?
What?
And
that's creep block?
That's,
what?
No, not what's happened,
no.
but...
I'm just gonna, you know, attack you from right here.
Yeah. We'll see if Stez knows the ways of getting out of ultimates, no problem. But we are going to start out with round number 2 of DominateDominion number 85.
So for these teams, this is round 2. It's just Summoner's Rift over on the left-hand side. Highlighted in blue, it is Den's Bruja on Jarvan the 4th. Rachel passive playing Annie. Annie's skin that was just on sale. I wouldn't be surprised if she just bought it. Zalklos on Taric. Chopsticks on Ezreal and Man. Rounding out the composition there on Karma. I'm RheingoldRiver, joined by Bird, and he'll introduce the other team.
Do we have Mercenaries? We do have Darkest Sticks on that Leona. Vayne going to be played by Stez 007 FOE. Odin Borson playing the Muay Thai Lee Sin. Vi+Vayne going to be played out by Pedro82. And William Swiftfoot going to be paying out to the Vi. Going to try to lock it in for today. And yeah, I think everyone's actually going to get in. I was a little worried Stez wasn't connecting in, but we're not going to have a competitive pause, hopefully, starting up the game.
You can never say that. You never say that. Never say that. Come on. I don't even know what that sound meant. Like, that word has no meaning to me. It's sort of like marksman. I refuse to acknowledge the existence of those letters as actually forming a word.
I mean, competitive is a good word. I don't like the second word as well, and we'll see if it will actually happen or not. We're going to start up into the game, and we didn't really talk about bot lane matchup.
Look at that Annie skin. Just look at that Annie skin.
Is that the new Annie skin?
Well, it's the old Annie skin. It's the one that was on sale today, Annie in Wonderland, and I definitely got it because Annie's pretty much my favorite right now. So now I'm only missing one Annie skin, and I'll be able to get it at the end of the month.
Is it the Goth skin? Or
no, I have that one. I'm missing the other Legacy Annie skin. So Annie in Wonderland I have, and then the other, I think it's Red Riding Annie is the name of the skin.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm missing that one. So it's the 2 Fairy Tale Annie skins.
Well, the Alice from Annie in Wonderland skin can be really cool. Seeing that from Rachel passive. We do see the Karma going to be picked up for the bottom lane for It's Just Summoner's Rift. On the other hand, Odin Burson going to be playing the Lee Sin at bot. So a lot of that outplay potential, but I still think Mantaman/Karma is going to be able to sustain through a lot of the harassment of Odin Burson.
It looks like it'll actually be Lee Sin, yeah, like you're saying, against Karma. So, again, we have Karma against a champion that doesn't push quite as well. If Lee Sin puts points into his E, he starts to push a little bit better. But because Karma isn't an auto-attack champion, he's probably not going to want to level that. And so he'll probably want to go for Q or W max. So I definitely see early on, Man should definitely be able to push onto Odin Borson. And the question is going to be, can Lee Sin ever get to the point where he can assassinate Karma after building a ton of AD?
Oh, we do have the windmill fight about to start out over here. Like that, then we're going to try to lead out the charge points, but we're going to be taking out the first shot. Pedro is going to hit up by up top.
Oh, there's a stun, but the stun is only onto Vi, and Vi actually takes a ton of damage. There was almost no follow-up there. Rachel passive doing a great job of zoning, takes a bit of pain from Vayne. It's actually Taric here. Taric getting focused down. There's the EQ on absolutely everyone. The exhaust goes down. Vi drops almost immediately. Darker Six gets exhausted, ignited there. Excuse me, it's a double kill for Ezreal. There's a stun to Stets. Instantly cleansed, but let's see if it's actually going to be enough. The Arcane Shift, and Ezreal takes up the kill cleanly there. Pedro going to fall now also, and that was 2 kills for Ezreal, kill for Taric, and I'll switch over to KDA here. 3 kills, excuse me, for Ezreal, And the windmill fight cleanly goes over to It's Just Summoner's Rift.
And we do have all the revives already burned out. There was nothing that was happening for Mercenaries on that fight. Kha'Zix gonna go chase on onto Taric, but I don't know if that was the smartest idea yet again.
Yeah, EQ again from Jarvan, again a nice knock up there. Zyra+ continues to walk forward. He's actually being focused by Vayne. Gets knocked into the wall there. Leona goes down, Taric goes down. There, both of the tanks dropped. Rachel passive gets exhausted actually, and probably will fall as a double kill for Vayne. That is not what you want to do. You don't want to feed Vayne kills. William Swiftfoot being a nice front line there, but Kha'Zix should be able to pick it up. One last auto attack, that's enough to do it. Stets now with a triple kill. Can he pick up the quadra here? But Xaltos comes in with the stun, gets condemned back almost immediately. It's a double kill for Ezreal. Has Arcane Shift available right now, chasing down onto Pedro. The revives were burned, the revives were enough. Vayne did manage to pick up several kills, but we'll see if she can actually bring her team back into the game.
Yeah, as we do see the bottom lane getting pushed up right now, we do have J4/Densbruja can be able to probably gank out onto Odin Borson, so Odin can have to play this a little bit more carefully. Gets out with the safeguard.
He has so much mobility, but Cataclysm does stop that a little bit with no words. He can't ward jump, but he should be able to safeguard to a creep. The exhaust comes down to stop a little bit of Odin's damage, and he's actually just running away. Safeguards to the point. I didn't know you could do that. There's the assault and battery onto Densbruja. Gets knocked back a little bit, and he EQ away over the health relic. I think he should be fine, but middle of the map, it's the ult actually onto Kha'Zix there. Stunned from Annie. Final hour popped by Vayne. Vayne with a little bit of auto attack damage down, but gets stunned almost immediately. Doesn't have cleanse here. Pedro in the middle, no ult anymore, and he's gonna go down. Kha'Zix and Xaltos each with a kill. And It's Just Summoner's Rift with absolute command in this game.
Yeah, It's Just Summoner's Rift just playing it out really well. Densbruja is still going on to Odin Borson. We have William Swift, we're gonna be able to take out one. Man, and man, can he get out of there, man? Just gonna go walk idly by, and good pickup coming out from Odin Borson.
Yeah, he just casually walks out, almost no big deal, no big deal, I'm just gonna go heal. Actually is putting points in that E, despite the fact that Karma is not an auto attacker, so it gets a little bit more wave clear, gets a little bit more damage from that.
I'm gonna be able to help out some ganks. I think the gank potential with bottom lane.
Yeah, it also increases the slow per level in addition to the attack speed slow per level, so that's also gonna help out quite a ton.
Yeah, and we'll see if William Swiftfoot is actually just going to stay bottom, pretty much just gank exclusively bottom, because the top lane fight, DominateDominion has been doing pretty well just controlling it. Leona hasn't really gotten into the guest engage, but this might be a
nice ult there, or not ult, but E. The ult actually misses Xaltos there. Xaltos has to run towards the top. Did get slowed, but not stunned. Jarvan coming in. There's a stun from Racial passive onto William Swift, but he's going to be okay though. And actually, Racial passive is now the one being focused by Sep. Can't quite get the silver bolts down. There's the armor reduction out of Jarvan. William Swiftfoot drops almost immediately. Two-shot barrage. Kha'Zix, you do not want to go back in. You're going to die immediately, and he does. Taric can't quite survive. Densbruja with the kill onto Vayne there, and Pedro is alive for a little bit. And as I say that, he drops to Annie Ballin. However, Odin Borson with the damage onto Man might be able to pick it up here. The ignite went down. A lot of damage from that E. Karma can't kite enough. He gets the neutral and he gets the kill.
Kha'Zix going to come right back in. Going to try to delay this deny, and Odin Borson should be able to capture this, but actually just backs away. So neutral on the point, but not going to be able to capture it down. It is still going to be 2-2. Like good stuff coming out from Mercenaries, at least in the bottom lane. On top, yeah, it's just Summoner's Rift is still taking these fights, and it's kind of dangerous.
There was going to be no creep wave coming in for Lee Sin there because this point was neutral. The core was neutral, so Lee wasn't ever going to be able to safeguard to a creep to be able to escape from Ezreal there. So Ezreal could have just chased him down and killed him. So he needed to make sure he got out.
Which is the very safe play, and unfortunate that he couldn't actually capture it down. Oh, Kha'Zix might get caught out. Stez in really big trouble, and it is Stez being caught in.
Assault and battery goes down, Densbruja getting focused down. There's the ult from Leona, Solar Flare goes down. Stez goes exhausted, but it's a little bit late. They do pick up the kill anyway. It's a double kill for Annie, a kill for Kha'Zix, and Pedro was nowhere to be found. So that fight was actually 4 versus 3, and completely cleaned up by It's Just Summoner's Rift.
Cataclysm with the startup engagement, and then the Tibbers just to follow it up. There's so much immense AoE control coming out from DD. It's Just Summoner's Rift, and he's going to try to go in for some help. Man, but nothing really coming out of that because Lee Sin's just going to back away.
Yeah, I don't know. Man and a little girl, I don't know how well they're going to be able to gank Lee Sin. Not too much synergy there.
I mean, they're mainly people that can do some stuff like we do see over here with Zyra+.
Well, Annie really needs Shaco for that sort of Mad Hatter effect, I think.
because it's I get it. It's Annie.
Annie in Wonderland. So Mad Hatter, or it could be Nidalee for the Cheshire Cat. Actually, Ziggs is more like the Cheshire Cat. That grin is pretty terror. You got to admit.
And Ziggs is kind of like a cat, so it's not really surprising to see, as we do see the windmill fight yet again. They're going to start it up, but then Bruiser just controlling the backline. It is a 3v4 at the moment, but oh my gosh, Summoner's Rift is just doing way too much.
The damage from the turret is absolutely insane, and Rachel passive has a lot of damage on Annie. Doesn't actually even have too many items yet, but still doing a ton of damage. Williams-Swiftfoot, great kill onto Vayne there, as Williams-Swiftfoot goes in onto Kha'Zix. Gets the double kill, might be able to pick up the triple, but no, Rachel passive says no, that is my kill.
Double on double for Annie and Ezreal. I don't think you can pair them up too well, but hey, it's working out pretty well for them right now for It's Just Summoner's Rift.
Taric on his way to gank Lee Sin. It's very hard to gank Lee Sin. Lee Sin is extremely mobile, and with the creep wave coming in, he should just be able to shield to it and get out. Looks like he might stay and fight though a little bit. Q's over to Taric, and he's gonna run away up. Tree-Shot Barrage comes across. There's a safeguard to creep. Taric has his Shatter up right now, or his Dazzle actually up right now. Well, he has both. Might be able to land it. No, they're scared of Vayne.
And gonna be able to get out, no problem. Too many ganks, not anything successful, but we do see the top lane. Cataclysm going in. Don't know if it's the smartest idea. We just saw everybody at bot, but Williams-Swiftfoot's still gonna go down. Rachel passive doing way too much damage over at the top lane and just holds it up. Windmill still secured for It's Just Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, so the numbers advantage was in favor of beating Mercs as Rachel passive actually gets condemned. There's the shutdown finally, but Taric with his Radiance gives a lot of additional damage there to the Bridget goes down. Kha'Zix is here, probably will have the cleanup. The Leona ult does not hit him. There's the stun onto Pedro, and Pedro should fall to one more auto attack. But he has a lot of move speed. Question is, when is Arcane Shift up? No! Not going for it. Kha'Zix is not going for it.
Meanwhile, over at bot, we do see Odin Borst taking a lot of damage on the Karma, but unfortunately, neutral die is the point for the Boneyard, so we're going to see some damage coming down 3-1 cap at the moment. It's Just Summoner's Rift.
So Kha'Zix just clearing out the wave a little bit. Force them to clear out the wave. Force them to have to kill the minions instead of going up to the windmill. Very smart. Gonna recall. A little bit of motion back towards the center of the map at this point. Rachel passive went from just a finished codex to already having a BFT completed, so that's going to be a lot of additional damage on Annie.
Yeah, she's going to do a lot of damage up front, and with the stun for all time, they didn't get off. But Dalkos, threat this engagement, going to tank up a lot of the damage starting in. Comes down to Bruja with the re-engage.
Yeah, so they managed to stop the capture from Leona, and the rest of the team is here. Tree-Shot Barrage goes across. That's super low. Williams-Swiftfoot might go down, gets the blast shield for a little bit, but it's not quite enough. Pedro, that was a nice stun onto Pedro to stop him from getting away, and it's a double kill once again for Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix, by the way, is 12-0-12. He still has not died. And he's been in all except for 3 of his team's kills.
So you mean he's been fighting, but he hasn't died yet? I thought everything was supposed to die, but
well, I
we're
said there
seeing
would be
Kha'Zix.
deaths on both teams. There would be deaths on both teams. I did not say every player would die. You know what? Why is this guy running Revive? Who runs Revive on Dominion? All you have to do is go 12-0-12 and never die.
But I heard in solo queue it hasn't worked out.
Wow! Wow!
That play at bottom a little bit.
That was pretty great, but Rachel passive should be able to clean it up. Oh no, it's the minion stun! The stun was onto a minion. Nice juke there. Taric's on the other side, gets the stun off. Rachel should be able to pick up the kill. There's the shutdown. Assault and battery goes down. Lee Sin still has revived. That was his first death. Timber's doing a little bit of DPS, but the exhaust is onto Rachel there. Oh, the stun in time onto... Oh, it's a double kill on the heal. Taric is a really good champion right now. And it was just very well played by Southclose.
Taric is a very strong champion indeed, and Tibber / the bunny Tibber is going to be able to do an immense amount of damage onto Vi, who just sit in the AoE fire, unfortunately.
It's a little bit backwards because Tibbers follows Annie around, but Alice follows the rabbit, so I don't know. It needs to be reverse Annie. Reverse Annie in Wonderland is really what I want to see, where the Annie follows the giant rabbit. Rabbit bear. Yeah, there's a fight in top lane. Nice invulnerability onto Stets, but as soon as it's over, he falls immediately. And Kayle now level 16. Up full duration. Darker 6 does not get CC'd by that EQ. There's the DFG, not DFG. BFT, there we go. BFT from Rachel passive. Kayle goes down. Vi goes down. Stets with the condemn. Gonna try and stop Chopsticks here, but cannot stop the 15-0-14 Ezreal.
You might be able to stop it now, but Williams with not actually focusing that, and they are just gonna get kited for days. Exhaust going down.
Holy damage!
Deleted.
Yeah, absolutely deleted there. Ezreal might finally drop to Kayle, but Kayle gets stunned. And it's a double kill for Annie! Oh my god! Den's Bruiser did not drop there. Kayle has revived. Kayle coming back up, but gets CC'd almost immediately. And again, still doesn't have ult. Ezreal doesn't stick Q. This might be the moment of reckoning. Stets might be able to pick this up. There's the Silver Bolts, but Tibbers goes down with the stun as we saw in battery under Rachel passive. Chopsticks wants to save for a little bit. He could pick up that health right now and gain a little bit more mana, trying to lifesteal instead. There's the ult going across, misses Vayne actually. The shutdown goes on to Annie, but Ezreal survived.
Yeah, Ezreal probably gonna play that a little bit stronger, get the health, and actually just poke away with the Annie, but it didn't work out there. Zalko is over in bottom, face off against Odinborst, and Densbridge is still gonna try to get through it in. This is off on the flag and drag, but hits the Cataclysm and gonna be able to finish up the kill, no problem with Zalko's Densbridge gonna pick up that kill, and instead defend in, use the final hour, try to chase down a...
Oh, there's the shutdown. There's the shutdown, 400 gold to Leona. So, RIP perfect game from Chopsticks, but he has been playing phenomenally on Ezreal. Boneyard gets neutral there, 3 versus 2. So that was the price that Ezreal had to pay for the capture onto the Boneyard.
Defending his honor and defending his town, which the windmill did go down still. At 16-1 and 16, as the Trinity Force has a last whisper, he's doing quite well for himself, being the king of kings over there at top lane.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is going to be an Infinity Edge or a Fan Brands. I assume it's going to be an Infinity Edge out of the Crit Cloak. He does want to get more damage on individual auto attacks. I'm a little bit surprised that he's not going for a Sanguine Blade. Or Blade of the Ring King, get a little bit of lifesteal, but this will amplify his damage by quite a bit, as Stets is trying to do what he can, but the Arcane chipped in. Chopsticks picks that up. Nice to see a double kill there. Going on to Darker Sticks, manages to pick up the triple. He might be able to make it into a quadra, but I think Kayle is going to be safe.
Well, one thing I'm noticing with every fight Mercenaries trying to do, and they're trying to just delay or just get to the front line, but each and every time you do that, that Chopsticks still keep on doing damage. He gets the unofficial quadrant at the end of everything, and yeah, it's been pretty exciting for Ezreal. Just auto-attacking, doing tons of damage, and just making sure everything dies around.
Yeah, and Ezreal is generally not considered a hyper carry, but he is definitely going to be able to fulfill that role. He didn't even use his revive when he died. He was completely willing to take that death timer, so still sitting on revive. So the thing is that right now, even if DD Mercs manages to kill Chopsticks, he's still going to have his revive. He's still going to be able to come back, recontribute to the fight, and it's going to be pretty scary.
And as we go on, we do have 32-4-1-4 on the point score. Rachel passive going to go back into Decker Sticks. Chopsticks should be able to finish that one up. Rachel
nice invulnerability from Kayle, but Ezreal does have the kill anyway. And if you can focus the Leona like that without repercussions, the game's pretty much over. So I think this is definitely going to be in favor of It's Just Summer's Rift. They've done a great job of playing. They had a great snowball early on. They managed to give so many kills to Ezreal. He picked up 3 and Taric picked up 1 in the first fight when they went 4-0. They picked up the windmill, and they've just been feeding Ezreal kills. And then the one lane that was doing well for DD Mercs was of course bot lane, but they've done a great job of ganking for Man, helping him out, getting that pressure onto Odin, and they're rewarded with the game.
Yeah, and great game coming out for It's Just Summoner's Rift, picking up the win for this round 2 matchup.
Alright, so they're going to move on to round 3, but before they do that, we're going to go over to the post-game screen, take a quick look at charts, and who wants to bet that Ezreal had the most damage dealt to champions?
I'm thinking it's actually Annie, hopefully. Am I wrong?
You're very wrong.
Oh,
you're wrong by almost 10k, friend.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, Ezreal 34,000 damage, almost 35,000 damage. That is crazy! That is absolutely crazy. Ezreal, or AD carries in general, usually take a while to ramp up in their damage. Annie will be able to do a lot more damage straight off the bat. Plus, you have to consider Annie is much more AoE based than Ezreal. Annie, by all rights, should do more damage to Ezreal, but Chopsticks had a phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. Not to make light of anyone else, Rachel passive played amazingly. Really, everyone on the side of It's Just Summoner's Rift had a good game there, but you just can't eclipse that Ezreal score, 23-1 in 17.
Definitely good stuff coming out from its Chopstick. And it was technically all your team, but you still did a lot of mobility, a lot of the damage to make sure that you could, well, get those kills and get that damage in.
Alright, so GG, well played to both teams. That's going to bring It's Just Summoner's Rift onto round 3, and we're going to follow them there in just a few seconds. Get into game as soon as we can here, guys, for you. We're going to throw up a quick commercial break in the meantime. All you'll be missing out if you turn off your ad block is just to hold screen some music. You can go ahead, listen to music of your own. You can turn off ad block, help support Dominate Gaming. We really appreciate it, guys. So we'll be back shortly after a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere.